What's up, whoever's on the stream? Stop this guy. Nope.
I'd step back, sir. Step leech!
Blood spear is brutal. So are the claws.
She's too fucking fast!
Fire. Oh, have I been through this way yet or not? I can't remember. This map's pretty expansive. Shiny. Busted a hideout. Some reds there.
I cannot enter.
Locked. There's an entrance. Crying baby for sure reminds me a lot of Bloodborne. Is that you in the stream, Fox? Fox Daddy the Great?
I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood.
Shit, that leech is fast!
Want some of this?
Sir, having observed the Pembroke Hospital for 2 weeks now, we can confirm the Vampyr activity there. First, we now have proof of the presence of a female leech inside the hospital. The beast is clever. She acts like a mental patient to hide her true unholy condition. I personally sneaked inside the hospital and heard the creature whining about her need for blood since her body is decaying. But it gets worse. The administrator of the Pembroke Hospital is Dr. Swansea. According to our team leader, Amanda Titan, who died yesterday in a fight against a skull by the canal, he may be a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. If that's true, then there may be something big going on at the Pembroke. Maybe even a nest of vampires, protected by those bloody traitors of the Stole. We don't know what to do, but we are convinced you'd better come by quickly with reinforcements and heavy gear. Journey to reassure Pennsylvania that she will be watched. Just wiped out their entire This level is 18, right? Siva. Stop. Like if it's just him, I don't want to take it. We should take our chances. Let's equip the Whitechapel, I think we found Albie. It's as stupid as stool, but tough. I asked him to prove me he could get some drugs to the black market, delivered quickly and nicely. The next time we meet, I'll tell him he's accepted as a wet boot boy. He must now meet the bosses to get his orders. Investigation. Let's see. Already in Whitechapel. Here.
I can't believe I'm doing this. This is despicable.
It's locked, right? It's closed. I'd step back, sir. It's a lead! Bloody monster! We're locked out. It's locked, all right.
It's locked, all right. Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert, stop it!
I won't end up another drunk arsehole in the streets. Not me.
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Do you need assistance?
Please. Feeling tired these days.
There you go. Let's hope nobody steals it from you.
Very funny.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey! I didn't do anything, it ain't me!
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
This note was found on a dead man, Albert. If that doesn't change your mind, then you must be ready to face the risks.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I have a future here.
Goodbye, young man.
The Wet Boots will be proud of me.
Bloody hard boy. What?
Shooting a boy in the middle of a street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just failed me last nerve.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
It's a pity that doctors still practice such barbaric methods. It's a dishonor to our profession.
Now only the pills stop me thinking about this shit. To not hear the explosions. I'm even scared of the dark these days.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper. A terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
blood. Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Her remedy?
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems. As long as you have the money.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me, just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
Can't you just look me up? Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
So many... Oh, wow. So many meetings at work?
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Man, that's a bummer. It's weird it's not showing you in the stream. Oh, now it is, okay. Didn't post your cuss word? You posted your cuss word? Oh, probably didn't post it on the stream. It's showing up on my screen though.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever. Madness. Something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Let's get this healthy. I think the part I'm having the hardest time deciding is... I guess I've got nowhere near strong enough to mesmerize any of these people to go feed on them, but... just trying to decide which ones are, you know, expendable, I guess.
Right then. Show me what you have.
So everyone has some level of importance to everything that's going on. And the fact that I just straight up lost one guy that I didn't even meet. He just died. And ended up losing some hits over it, like... No, if you mesmerize them and feed on them, then that they're dead and they're removed from the interconnected web of characters in the story. But it's the only way to get like a significant amount of experience all at once. Otherwise, you're just having to, get it little by little by fighting other enemies. Yeah, that's different though. You're just feeding on the animals is just to raise your blood meter, so you can use your blood abilities and your healing. The feeding on these people is how you get, a lot of experience. But I have to get my ability to mesmerize them up before I can feed on any of them, because it's still at one. So that part I've not figured out yet.
I should never have taken up my father's...
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some,
Vampyr 30.
but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Right here's awfully rude. Yeah, so see, on the top of the menu here, when I'm talking to people, you got your mesmerize option. And my mesmerize level is 1, and his mesmerize level is 3. So I have to be above their, I have to be equal to or above their level to be able to mesmerize them. And then over here it shows their status. So their blood quality is how much experience they're worth when you drain them. And that can be decreased by them being sick, but it can be increased by finding these hints about their person. So you found this one, and activating those different dialogue, these different pieces of the dialogue wheel. So right now, basically, we're building the web of people, making the connections, finding out as much as we can about everybody to increase their blood quality, and then trying to heal a few of the people that we actually have the treatments for. I don't have a migraine. I might be able to make a bronchitis treatment. Albert, I had a fatigue treatment for him, so he may actually be able to be mesmerized. But I want to make sure that I've got as many of their hints as I can do completed to increase their blood quality, so that at least if I'm removing them from the story, then I'm getting the most out of it, getting the most, benefit from it. Because it does have consequences on the actual progression of the story and my ability to find hints for other folks. I'm gonna try this Warped Wing Hermel's Belgian style cream ale brewed with spices. Warped Wing Brewing Company in Dayton, Ohio. Not bad. A little bitter, but flavorful and drinkable.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Yeah, you're just finding the connections between people. So you see, like, each person has their social circle, and so if you know where those people are, you can kind of use them to connect each other to find more of these hints that are locked.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
Some of these guys are rude as fuck.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks.
The Wet
I'm their
Boot Boys.
muscle.
Wet
Their
bandits.
dirty work.
You survive at any cost, even at the expense of others. Perhaps that's just the law of nature.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Interesting. Joe Peterson. Yeah, huh?
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
So he gave me a clue about Mr. Barrett.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you?
We should. Yeah, so we've got a hint here.
Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I'd known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away,
It's a pretty dope.
he found
nickname,
every
Colossus
excuse
Joe.
to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
Without making excuses for him, it's safe to say that despair can poison even the sanest mind.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against a wet boot boy.
A little bit of progress. Just gonna hit those. Do a couple more hits, so look. So, this guy's healthy.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Excuse me. Anybody else in this area?
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Oh.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way. Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Didn't really necessarily hypnotize him. Just used effective dialogue. Because obviously I would have had to have that one hit.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough like... well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Who makes idiot things?
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
Shout out to all the one people watching the stream right now, Mr. Fox Daddy the Great. Yeah, if anyone tunes in at any point, Full Metal Pete is streaming on Twitch at the moment. Looks like he's streaming some Spellbreak, daily Spellbreak streams. I think he usually goes from like 7 to 11 most evenings. I think there is a... oh, he says the prologue's finally here, so maybe turn that out. I might have to give that a try a little bit later today, so we'll see. Got D&D tonight with Fox Data the Great, some other good friends. It's gonna be fun.
You have a roof over your head, a place to call home. Many people here are not as lucky, you know.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming
Yeah, it's
back
the
again
Spanish
after
flu.
my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
It's weird because there's signs all around the city and stuff talking about quarantine, and there's 9 p.m. curfews and how to make a mask out of cheesecloth. It's just bizarre that this game was made free, because this game was made like, what, 2 or 3 years ago, I think.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
He's got fatigue. I don't think
Do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do.
I could use my last.
I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
Yeah.
I will see you later. Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Is there are only pain and suffering in this world.
Pandemic fatigue. Yeah, that so far seems to be the most common.
Even my dreams are soaked with grief.
Yeah.
It's locked.
That? Yeah. Need to make him today.
Even my dreams.
You again? What do you want this time?
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Oh boy.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right?
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Loading screen. Well, I had to say it a little louder. Do you hear that? Yeah, you should comment on the screen there if he heard you. Okay. Okay, Ziva. Of course, as soon as you try to take a nap. Of course, as soon as you try to take a nap. Leave you out there. They were pretty much chill until you got home. Mom's home to be assholes.
You are blinded by your false faith!
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition. What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
I think this might be the first guy that I train.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Dexter.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
So you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Yeah. What did you hear? Unmuted at the wrong time. Oh yeah. Let's do the scumbag. I think this is the dude I'm gonna this is the probably the first dude I'm gonna try to drain.
I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about everything involving public health and this epidemic.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
That science is unable to explain the facts doesn't mean there is no rational explanation.
I confess, I share your point of view, Doctor.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you, for a start, my dear Doctor.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Peaceful? That's quite an unusual way to speak about the epidemic. And very inappropriate, I must say.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much. And that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the arid hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Oh, Camellia, the silent flower of Whitechapel, an angel made flesh, I tell you.
Good evening, Mr. Nithercott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
Do you need medical attention, sir?
It may be wise to let you prescribe me something. I don't feel like I should.
I understand your appetite for words and macabre beauty, sir. But you should be more careful.
The nutrition of my mind is more important than my physical health. But I appreciate your concern, sir.
I'll leave you alone, sir. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Tell me about Richard Nithercott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia. Very well. Goodbye, then. Hello again, miss. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. Very well. Goodbye, then.
Hey. Killed everyone. Knowledge piss, excellent. Ziva.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling. But I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick. Though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Fair enough.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed. Or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly. But it is not your concern, Doctor.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
There is something going on. Like a secret or plot I must reveal. Most of them don't speak English. Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and divided nation.
Do you think things will ever change, Mr. Darby?
I believe the situation can only improve. And now that women can vote, I'm convinced things will change.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
I cannot enter.
When science fails you,
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see, Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though. If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run this little print shop.
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane?
Like myself and many people in this area. Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever, too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family?
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor. But I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
I need help!
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor. None at all.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy? Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor!
Cardiac massage, now.
Cardiac... What? Are you making this up as you go along? We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners. To what do I owe this? I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
No. Your place is here. Jailing you would be an even greater crime. So, here is my proposition. I'll look the other way on your little enterprise. In exchange, you will resign from the Pembroke Hospital and provide me with medical supplies when the need arises.
Dr. Reed! That sounds like a business proposition. My accomplice, then.
No, just a privileged client. My research may require the occasional rare piece of equipment or ingredient. I'll pay good coin in exchange, fair and honest, to help finance your noble endeavors.
We have ourselves a deal, Doctor. Good customers are always welcome.
Yes, Nurse Crane. We have a deal.
Gotta stop eating these chips there. There we go. Mesmerize level is raised. Failed one of events. Interesting.
It's locked, all right.
What the heck?
Oh, this one stinks already.
There's one of them.
They killed Darius? Shit, they came and killed everybody. That's rough.
It's locked, all right.
You're locked already.
Steady, boys, we've got one! Yeah!
Mr. Fox Daddy joining in. What's up?
Nothing. Wanting to watch and commentate because I've had a bunch of things that I wanted to say about this game while watching it in the last little bit of time.
Yeah, what are you thinking so far?
Okay, so the game that this was reminding me of that I could not figure out is Deus Ex, the series.
Okay. I didn't play a whole lot of Deus Ex.
Yeah, so this game is exactly like Deus Ex. Because you've got... It's just in a different time period. You've got like a guy who's got crazy cool powers. You've got the discussion tree and how you find things out. I don't know. Like at first I was gonna tell you just to go completely bad guy and just murder everyone.
Yeah.
Murder everyone, gain their knowledge, you know, becomes the most feared person that, like, somebody says no to you, you just drink them and be like, okay, now I know what they know.
About that time.
Vampyr.
You get a nap at all? How long of a run are you doing? Like, 30 minutes. Okay. Where did the food? Probably when you leave. You take off.
So what's the plan at this point?
What's the plan?
Yeah, what are you supposed to be doing?
Right now, completing this main mission for Lady Ashbury, who's the benefactor of the hospital, and who is also a vampire. She's the vampire that you came across early in the game.
Okay, I think I may have missed that.
Yeah. And so this whole mission to come and find Dorothy Crane was a part of, it was requested by her to figure out what's going on, if she's stealing medical supplies or whatever to fund her own, facility.
So that nurse was Dorothy, right?
Yes.
And that's the vampire.
Yeah, she's the one other regular vampire that I know about. A bunch of these. 6 of those should be good. So we'll take those to the staff at the hospital because everyone there is fatigued. I don't think I've been in here yet. These guys are at level 14. There's only two of them now.
Can you take them?
I'll take them if I can sneak up on this guy.
Wait a minute, that only did that much damage to him?
The draining doesn't do a lot of damage. Shit. Did not get hit by those. This does quite a bit of damage. Blood Sphere. Ah! Claws do pretty good damage. And the scythe does decent damage now that I've leveled it up.
Nice. Well, they weren't that bad.
Nah. There's only 2 of them. If there's 3 of them, it might have been too risky. I didn't realize I hadn't been through this part of the house yet. This hideout has 3 entrances.
Wait, is this mostly above ground or under?
This is above ground. It's 2nd story mostly. Yeah, see, now that you're awake and you're ready to go do something, he's being chill.
Talking to the dog?
Yeah. They torture Erin, basically. They bother the shit out of her anytime she tries to take a nap. And they bark like crazy at nothing when she's trying to take a nap. And then as soon as she's awake, they're both asleep. And if I leave in the evenings to go do stuff, they pester the shit out of her. But when I'm here on vacation during the day, most of the day they sleep. They are. Part of that, though, is I think they know that I'll just ignore them to a certain extent.
Right, to a certain extent, she ends up giving in and playing with him for a little bit. I get that.
Where am I at? Back on this main stretch. So we're going back to the hospital. Get back to the dangerous part of Whitechapel. London, yep.
Oh, cool. What was that? Was that like your vampire vision?
This? Yeah.
Yeah.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
So you're a detective and a doctor, but also a philanthropist. I like Batman.
Kind of like Batman, yeah.
Except you're a vampire.
Vampire Batman. They blocked off that. I used to be able to go through that way. Something is going on over there.
Kill it, boy! The bloody Christ!
Oh shit!
Christ the least!
14
Mini
bosses.
boss. Mini boss, bro.
These aren't mini bosses. These are full-on bosses.
You just happen to walk into this fight.
Oh, this is gonna suck. Gotta get there. Alright.
Can you get out of there?
That's what you do with leeches.
Too bad. Oh shit.
Doesn't like fire, does it?
Will the lower end enemies just keep popping up?
No. So I'm trying to get him first. Okay, so he's a boss. Look at these guys.
Got up like kindling.
Oh, your health is so low right now.
Alright, you die. And you die.
Fight for this! Burn it, boys!
Swing, stab, shoot. Swing, stab, Oh shoot, I think that's what he's doing.
I'm about to die. Oh, they do come back. Oh shit. That's the first time they've ever done that.
Well, then those are your blood. That's your blood sacs.
Except focusing on parrying them right now. Hold on. What I need to do.
Uh-oh. What is it? Oh yeah, you got a gun!
Yeah, the
Wait.
gun's not gonna be super useful here. These guys are more resistant to
bullets.
Alright. Move, switch. So now stay. Stun him.
Burn it, boys!
God damn it.
Crush the leech, boys! Burn, vermin! I'll take its head!
Oh, got it. Oh, get the thief.
I'll take its head! It's down! Finish it! Doesn't like fire, does it? Burn, vermin!
You kind of real close on that other dude. Oh, you're about to die. Out of here.
What's your... What was Zach's messaging me? Hold on a second. Yo. Oh no. Oh, is that a Chacabula? Holy shit. That's scary looking. Looks like the devil's nutsack. Yeah. 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 Let's do it. Yeah. Yeah, whenever you're ready, let's find a good day for it. Yeah. I mean, we've been in our house for over 4 years and we haven't finished unpacking everything, so if that makes you feel any better. Adam's listening in too, you can say what's up to him.
Hey man, you got the devil's nutsack over there?
He can't hear you. Adam. What? Yeah, you shouldn't have left him out. You should have put him out. Those are crazy. Those are badass.
Alright. Ben, I'm gonna hop off here, cause Jay's hitting me up for some spell breaks.
Alright, later on, man. Peace. Alright, I'll talk to you, Adam.
Peace.
Peace. They just sat out here for so long. I didn't like sit and munch them all at once. Like that was like several days of munching on that bag. We can get more. Oh, they do? Okay. Okay. So you're leaving right now? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and order the food then. This is the way we need to go. You're spoiled. You already got a thing, like, not even that long ago.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
You don't have to worry about me, Dr. Reed. I am here to assist you, not to be a burden.
Yeah.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern
Gonna lock the door as
medical
soon as you
methods?
leave.
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride? Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science. Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Is there anything else that's bothering you? Can I help in any way?
Really? Why has no one else asked me that since I got here? I thought I was in a hospital.
Unfortunately, you are not the only person who needs help. And complaining about it won't do you any good.
Well, perhaps you're right, Dr. Reed. I'm sure if me missus was still alive, she wouldn't be happy with me going on like this.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book. I never could keep anything from her.
Good evening, sir.
I cannot enter.
Let's get shy out of there. That was weird.
I will not let you down, my boy.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Do you need my assistance?
Don't be ridiculous. I'm capable of dealing with this myself. I've just not taken the time to do so.
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time to do so. Consider it a gesture of solidarity between professionals.
I wish this hospital could have received as much attention from you, Dr. Reed. We do not see you in surgery very often.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Do you need medical attention?
Well, the proximity of the dead is not the most healthy company, even if the quiet can be appreciated.
Don't take too many risks with your health, Mr. Chidana. None of us are immune to this disease.
And that is a good thing. Death and disease is a constant reminder of our mortality. But you have my thanks, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Do you require medical attention as well, Mrs. Goswick?
Do you know you're the only one who's asked me this? No, I don't feel well, actually.
Despite what you think about this place, I can tell you with absolute certainty, taking this will help you recover.
Well, at least your reputation seems well deserved. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for this hospital.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'll let you get some rest, then.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
With you at our side, Dr. Reed, I know that Perry will prevail and survive this epidemic.
You are going to reveal all your secrets to me, even the darkest thoughts in your heart.
My blood and soul. They belong to you now.
The life running in your veins. This dead flesh needs it.
Oh, please spare me, Dark Queen. Spare your obedient slave.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are romantically involved?
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
I have made inquiries about the men who were tracking you, Miss Howcroft.
I did not expect a mortal to have this sort of courage. Speak, Doctor. Why are they hunting me down?
It was a misunderstanding. These hunters were in fact looking for a very different creature, but they mistakenly put their sights on you.
I knew it. I have become undone. Those hunters have discovered me, but they don't know what I'm capable of.
If you'll accept some advice from a petty mortal, I think you should assume a low profile and just quietly disappear into the shadows.
You are right. And you have served me well, mortal. Take this as a reward for your time. Perhaps I will allow you to drink deep of my blood. One day.
Thank you. I'll keep that proposition in mind. Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Tell me, Thelma, what do you really know about vampires?
I saw one and he saw me. I watched him hunt and kill. I saw his terrible wounds heal as his victim died. And then I knew I was saved.
You mean you actually saw a vampire? Here in London?
Yes. And it has been the answer to my pain. I must drink and kill to regenerate my decaying body. I am a vampire too.
You have no idea what problems your claim could cause if heard by the wrong people, Miss Howcroft. You must stop this nonsense now.
Why fear the truth? Strange things live in the dark, Dr. Reed. Strange and ancient beings that were here before this island even had a name.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Going to a visitor's hospital. That's Pembroke nowadays.
My blood and soul, they belong to you now.
The life running in your veins.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
Not really. I think I caught something in this bloody hospital. I swear I'm dead. Yet smiling inside, Dr. Reed.
As long as you remain here, I will make sure you don't have to worry about your health.
Don't think you can do much about it. Damage is done.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Hello again, Dr. Reed. I feel better already. Can I go soon?
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later. Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm afraid I do. Like everyone in this hospital. It's a sad state of affairs when even the hospital workers are worried about disease.
Our job brings us into contact with all kinds of infections, Milton. There's no shame in being ill while you're in a hospital.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. I get the feeling you don't fall sick often. But thanks, anyway.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Sorry, just realized my mic was muted. What's up, Rainaway Z? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. I don't know if we have met or gamed together, but how is your Thursday going? Pretty good. Enjoying lots of gaming time because I'm on vacation right now, so it's been pretty nice. Still an unknown person here. Whoa. I don't play Minecraft. I've never really given it a shot. Heard lots of good things about it.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
Hiding your true appetites behind a facade of compassion. Bravo. Very clever indeed.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
No need to apologize, my lady. I know exactly what you endure.
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
I must confess I have not put an end to the blackmail, my lady. Unfortunately, I could not bring myself to do it.
I'm so disappointed in you, Jonathan. I didn't expect this from you.
Lady Ashbury, you yourself admitted how ridiculous the sum of money was. I can assure you, it was all used for charitable ends.
Well, you are full of surprises, aren't you, Jonathan? All right, say I trust you, but you will still pay the ransom. That is only fair. After all, it was you who failed to bring this problem to a satisfactory conclusion.
I believe I could agree to that.
X-Ray Frosty.
And since a lady always keeps her promises, I will now answer any questions
Oh, right
you
on.
may have.
Well, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you jumping into the chat. If you want to share your channel in the comments there, I'll definitely check it out. I don't know if you're streaming at all or anything like that, but yeah, I'm just kind of doing this for fun, so it's always nice to meet new people. Thanks for jumping on.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan.
Return the favor.
Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway.
Yeah, you have a great night too.
Tell
Thanks.
Me, how is it
Just
done?
sent you over a sub.
The process is dangerous.
Right on.
It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
An elder? So this question...
Excuse my forwardness,
not my maker.
Are you
that much.
my maker?
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
Ekon.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires.
Never heard of them referred
Forget
to
what
as
you think
Ekon
you know
before.
about us.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires, but all vampires are not Ekon.
So
We
Fox
are
Daddy.
but a branch of the immortal tree.
Nothing.
No, that's you. No, I'm just mad.
What? Meh?
I'm just upset.
Oh, were you playing some spellbound? Spellbreak?
No, a spellbreak. No, just Ghost of Tsushima.
Why did you say
got that message from
I could hardly
Kyle
stand
about,
by and watch such a promising young
like them
blood as
being
yourself
high
be
on
torn to
levels
shreds by
and
some gutter.
the raid's getting ready to happen and fucking
Oh, that excluding you because you're not high enough level?
yeah.
Dirty.
I don't have,
William Bishop.
That,
I don't have the
that
time.
bitch plays all day.
No, Jonathan.
You son of a
Whatever
bitch! I
their
hope you can
strength
hear
and
this.
demeanor, Skulls are the progeny of careless vampires.
So I just had a new
It cannot be the other way round.
viewer, Rainaway Z, and you see him in the comments there. So it was like the first unknown person that's watched my channel, so it's kind of a big deal. I'll talk to them for a little bit. I don't know if they're still watching or not, but if you are, on the voice chat's Fox Daddy the Great. He's also got a streaming channel if you want to check him out. It's
yes,
pretty great. His is, I think, more entertaining than mine, but
oh shush! It takes a village.
yeah, send this guy a sub to guy or girl, Rainaway Z. They looks like they stream some stuff as well on YouTube, so spread the love around.
Well, look at you getting your feet wet. It takes a minute,
Not
but
a
it
true
happens.
vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
So we're finally getting the 411 on Ekons, which is the appropriate term.
Why does Dr. Swansea
for
allow you to
vampires
visit
in
on the
this
patients of the hospital?
Say it again.
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man.
Ekons or Econs,
He is
I
trying to
think?
find a solution for our hunger.
That skull.
Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
Yeah.
But yeah, she said that Lady Ashbury said that vampire is kind of just like a not really a slur, just like a word they don't really like to use. It's made up by like myths and penny dreadfuls and all that. She said, forget everything you know about vampires. But I was like, yeah, except like all the normal vampire rules apply to econs. Like being
not try to slur you, but
yeah,
I
get feed on
mean,
blood, can't go out in the daylight, can be defended by, Holy Cross.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St.
I wouldn't
Paul?
say
wait, they're affected by crosses?
The Brotherhood
Yeah.
is well known amongst London vampire society.
How?
As long as our
How
kind
would it
is
make sense in
discreet,
that world?
and as long as they do not interfere,
I don't
we
know,
have
man.
come to a mutual understanding.
Religion is a thing here too. Yeah, no. When you first go into Dr. Swansea's room at the on the docks, he knows you're a vampire, and as soon as you open the door, he's got a cross pointed at you, and it's like this blinding light and like radiant noise that just repels you.
And no one suspected you of the murders.
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
Yeah. Is it just me, or does she look like a little bit like Jesse Faden from Control?
Oh my God! You mean my future wife?
Face.
Very well, but I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
Like if Jesse Faden was an old-ass vampire, this is what she would look like.
Yeah, she looks like Jesse Faden, and then a little bit of. Do you remember Courtney Morrison?
He left this isle a long time ago.
Yeah, I kind of see that.
The nose, the bridge of the nose. Like the face, like that, like from the cheekbones to the nose.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Your sister.
Though I can't be certain.
Good God.
More than likely, it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society. And like all the best ones, a secret society. I thought them almost gone, but it seemed they have been recruiting.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
Put these fucking pocky chips away. It's like punishment to myself. They're so hot.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad.
Yes.
It tastes so
good.
good.
Not just that.
It's like 2 or 3 of them. I'm like,
things.
ah!
Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
Yes, I gained another, someone followed me on PlayStation 2. I don't know if it was the same person, but that was pretty cool too. And I, like, never had, like, followers on PlayStation.
Are there many vampires here in London?
It's pretty cool!
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
I've got the bloodlust, Steve!
I wish I had the time to stream regularly so I could actually, you know, kind of build a following, because I do enjoy this.
It is, because then all of a sudden you're like, oh, there's like 5 or 6
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
My DoorDasher's name is Dakoita. Dekoyta. Dakoita. I've not heard that one before.
It's not Dakota.
Dakoita.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see
Even
why
if it was
not.
Dakota, it'd be spelled a weird
But
way. Is it
remember,
D-E-K?
even the shark smiles before he bites.
D-E-K-O-T-A,
That sounds
Dakota.
like a lesson from experience.
Vampire
There's
politics
also
are
a
as
Y in
intricate
there.
and sometimes tedious
Dakota.
as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
I bid you farewell.
Her dialogue will
For now.
is stacked. Just found out all
I
about
must quickly
vampires.
analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's
Like,
patient.
listen, you gotta talk to me about everything. I am Mrs. Exposition.
If only
Oh,
there
there's
were more
Gwyneth
of us.
Brannigan. I need to
Less
find her.
resignation and more determination.
Good evening.
Gwyneth Brannigan!
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you require
She
medical
needs
assistance?
fatigue medicine.
I will be fine.
And
As
be
soon
like,
as I
hey,
can
in the
get some
future, you're gonna have a distant relative who's a complete asshole.
Oh, I'm out of fatigue medicine. Damn it. I'll be back.
I will see you later, nurse.
Anything's unlocked. Uh-oh.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working?
Why does Dr.
despite
Tippett's
his
claim?
If it wasn't for him, I would have left Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
I'm pretty sure he does. He said something along the lines of,
Goodbye, nurse.
she'd
Call
be
me
a
if
great
you need assistance.
practitioner if she were a man.
Yeah.
This guy's good.
Definitely,
That's
he's
Tippett's right there.
he's a woman hater. He is a he's a she woman hater.
He's a chauvinist.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr.
early
Reed, any
1900s.
good news to share?
That was quick. Wondered why they were out there barking. Alright.
Goodbye,
He's got nothing
Dr.
interesting. Alright, let's go analyze this blood sample. See if we can figure out what killed this person. Let's see. Yoink! Oh, missed it. Yoink. Biggest room at the hospital. Ooh, what do we get? Light stamina steer. Cool. So let's make another fatigue. Ooh, and I can make a cold one. Oh, and I can make a bronchitis one. I got bronchitis.
I got bronchitis.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Still gotta find the thing that gives me access to. Oh, I got this truncheon too. I forgot I received this. Wonder how well it works compared to the steak. Attack speed 10. Takes more stamina to use, but I wonder if it's a better ability at a higher level. Enhanced handling. Increased stun. Mess with it right now. What? Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Food is coming soon. As soon as food gets here, I will be hopping off for a while.
I dig.
Plus, D&D is in 25 minutes, so... That's right! That's right, people watching. Fox Daddy the Great and I are double nerds. We're video game and D&D nerds.
Oh my god.
Dungeons and double nerds. Gonna go play some douchebags and demagogues.
Douchebags and demagogues.
I thought it was close to leveling that one up. I think I've already got... Did I not? I already added. Maybe I didn't. Oh, yeah, I already did. Okay. Can I do both? It says one or the other. Yeah, I'm not gonna switch. I think I'll just take whatever I already got. Douchebags and demagogues.
I'm immediately thinking of like the greatest hit.
Oh wait, we're triple nerds. We're band nerds too.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Surprise, motherfucker!
You didn't think you'd get this level of nerd, did you?
Actually, you don't technically qualify as a band nerd. I hate to say it.
I was a choir nerd.
You're a choir nerd. I was an actual band nerd. We just are in a band. But being in a rock band is not nerdy. Unfortunately. I think it's actually kind of nerdy, but...
I mean, the level of stuff that you have to really pay attention to is pretty nerdy.
Yeah.
Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scows.
My thing is, how does he get away with having this face?
Epidemic transmitted through the flu. I should talk to Dr. Swansea.
Dog, are you okay?
Like, bro, are you sleeping?
The flower's dying.
No, what did he tell that other lady? He was like, I'm blind.
He's like, yeah, you're blind. He's blind when he was,
homie had the bloodlust.
Drained of thirst. Yeah, the bloodlust makes him blind, basically. That's what happened at the beginning. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, because he couldn't tell who it was and bit his sister.
Yeah. Like how they just give me a ledge in my room. Just be like...
You know, Batman.
Yeah. I am the knight.
Told you, bro.
Okay. So they're waiting for me to leave this room. Probably need to rest and let some of this medicine take... Oh, hold on. Let's go heal old girl first. Gwyneth Brannigan. Oh, Gwyneth Brannigan!
Brannigan.
I can find her. I had trouble finding her the first time. So she was out this other way, out by Milton. Neat. Alright, Jones is fine. Where is she? Pippa Hawkins, Stephen Halcroft, Thomas Elwood, Sean Hampton. Jones, she's fine. These guys are all recovering. Swansea's always upstairs. Oh, she out here. Oh, Eavesdrop.
Oh.
Do I have to be in the room? I have to be outside. Go, 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 go.
I met him in New York.
There's...
If only there were more of us. Less resignation.
Gross. Somebody's calling me.
Uh-oh. I think that's your food.
Hello? Oh, health insurance. Man.
How can I be sure I'll not find your unconscious
I won't
body
pay
in
for
the
my
house
health
again?
insurance.
I promise you, you'll
My
not
wife pays
find
for it.
my unconscious body.
That's my
How can you
wife!
say such a thing?
How can you
If it is here,
refuse
though.
to listen? I
That was
tried
weird
to
timing.
warn
He
you
was just
for
jabbing
so
him off at the
long.
door.
I won't let my only son die. You promised me you'll stay alive.
Your son lied to you, like the whole world lies to us.
Bet these bitches forgot my sauce again.
Bitches always be forgetting sauce.
They always be forgetting the sauce, though. I missed that. What happened?
Uh-oh.
Did you see that eavesdrop?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
You weren't paying attention either?
Wait. I can go back. Can I go back? Oh, it's not letting me go back because it's live. Okay, hold on.
It's alright. I'm gonna... about to hop off here in a minute. Where is...
Damn it, I can't get it to the exact spot.
What was that popped up?
I'm in pain, I need my medication. And then...
What if running again? There she is.
I'm super close. Like,
Good evening,
I'm in
Nurse
pain,
Brennan.
I need my
Good evening,
medication,
Doctor.
and then...
Do you require medical assistance?
My
I
sweet
will
girl
be fine.
reads me like a book.
As soon as I can
I
get
could
some
never
sleep.
keep anything from her.
That's someone else.
Well, shit, I missed it, okay?
I'll go back and I'll check it once I'm done with the stream.
You won't be able to help people if you're sick. Take this, and do try to get some rest.
I'll try.
I'm over
Dr.
here
Reed.
trying to
Thank
handle nuggets.
Who's out there trying to bark at the delivery guy that's long gone?
Dad, you don't understand.
Dad, someone was at the door. They're gone! Ice cream? Freezer? Did she come over? Alright. Oh. Alright.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
We got as much help out there, I think, as we could. Make sure. He's got a migraine headache. And I don't have that treatment available yet. So, you know, hopefully it doesn't kill him. Stepped in a dog turd?
Oh no.
Gross.
You got a couple minutes before we get started, so I'm gonna hop off of here.
Yeah.
Let you go eat. Thanks to everybody who's been paying attention to this guy's stream.
Yeah, thanks for watching. It was fun.
Like and subscribe to Hippie Funk.
Check out Fox Daddy the Great.
G.
All other friends.
See. Peace out.